Hello, welcome back to another episode of Kerbal Space Program, where I was just about to launch the Minmo's lander resupply refurbishment mission, and I decided on a Landmund as pilot, Lambus as engineer, and our tourist. So let's go. I have in the meantime also decided on who will perform the Kerbin low orbit cleanup mission, but let's wait with that for just a moment. Let me launch this one. So let's see. That was a pretty straight up refurbished vehicle. What's this stage? Until stage 2 as usual. Ascent profile. Ascent path 55. Yeah, standard profile, excellent. Engage and go. So yeah, while this is launching, in the meantime I have recovered the Solar Orbit Trading Mission 6B, I believe it was, or B6, sorry, that way around. And one of the participants there performed the recovery of the RCS ports from the outside, so engineering task, and that participant was also a pilot, so pilot EVA role, the one we had originally created for Valentina, but which has popped up a couple times when rescuing Kerbals. So one of those Kerbals will also fly the the low Kerbin orbit cleanup mission, because she bravely recovered those parts even though we were already entering the upper atmosphere at a still pretty much neck-breaking 2900 meters a second or something, 2800 maybe. Pretty much the regular solar orbit return velocity. But I believe that mission still takes a couple, let's see, reconditioning. Oh, it just finished, okay. So I can already roll it out, but it will not, it will have to wait for the reconditioning here, which is 3 hours. Jesus, that's long. Let's see. That might collide with this one. How about instead... No, not servo controller. We just go for pad alpha. We have the pad anyway, so let's just use it. Probably the decoupler, yes, that's fine. So, the Kerbin orbit debris cleaning mission is rolling out. That will take a while. I still haven't used this one. It's still on standby for any potential emergencies. So pad Charlie is pretty much blocked by that. And it's taking twice as long to roll out on the bigger pad. That's interesting to note. Anyway, let's double check our ascent profile here. Looking perfectly fine, a little low, but that's okay. Well within margins. Now next is the fairing separation, still above 150 pascals, so let's wait for a little longer. Clean separation of the fairings. And a very nice ascent. I believe I adjusted this launcher to also not leave any debris in orbit. And that's the solid rocket boosters recovered just a short distance away from the KSP. So yes, Landmund is an older pilot we have for a while. Lembus is one of our newest recruits, or rescuees, should I say so. And of course Alice, our tourist, which wants to land and is paying to land on Minmos. And all three of them, well, these two will also still need to plant a flag on Minmos. I believe Landmund has been at Minmos before, but does it show here? Yes, he has orbited around Minmos. Can just barely see it there, but at that time he didn't land, so he needs to go back. And he also still needs to go to the moon and to solar orbit, so there's that. Lembus, on the other hand, has been pretty much everywhere. Orbit around moon, orbit cabin, orbit the sun, only lacking only missing the Minmos flag. So Lembus will be a 3-star engineer after this mission. Could we please... And I totally forgot to go to inclination. Well, that's a new one. Will be interesting to see. They have enough spare fuel to do a mid-course correction, but that's an oversight on my part. Well then. Let's see where we are, and maybe it's still a long time until Minmos is over there. How much supplies do we have? This target, moment transfer, yeah, that's nowhere near. Equatorial transfer. Do we have... Oh, it doesn't allow us to set this. Okay. Well then. This is in 9 days, so... and the distance, it doesn't even show an encounter. How about... let's see, we have supplies for 21 days. Okay, I will put them in orbit here. Add a maneuver, and I will shift this out by a couple days. Let's say 3 days, and let's see whether we get a better transfer down. Oh, please, zoom. Why? Okay, now it will let me zoom. That's still a little high. Let's shift this along a little bit, and we will meet up with the station anyway, so we can pick up some supplies there. It's not a big deal. That's now 3.5 days. 5 days, let's see. Better, still not good. Having them so long in orbit is a little bit ridiculous, but let's see. I don't want this, thank you. One more day. That's quite okay now. We are almost, let me delete this node again. So this is the equatorial transfer of Minmos. So if we were to manage to go there, let's say at 6 and something, then we would meet up perfectly without an inclination change. Do I really want to spend 7 days in orbit here? Let's see, we have 1500 meters. No, there's no reason to do that. I will save this one anyway, and let's delete it and do our transfer again, and then create a plane change somewhere around there, a little higher. Let's see. Yeah, that's cheap enough. There's no big reason to mess around. And focus view, please. Let's see how we meet up with Minmus. So we will go down a little further. So like this, and need to go a little slower here. Excellent. And from there we can just adjust it to meet up with the station. Shouldn't be a big issue. So instead of waiting a week, we just perform our standard open transfer burn and then a 32 meter correction burn and a little bit more on the capture, but that's okay. Yep, messed up there. Anyway, so 5 minutes, execute next node. Probably cannot open this, yeah, I can't. See, that's our second stage. And back to the normal, almost 100 meters per second. I also looked at the, let's see, the relay satellites that we launched. So where's the first one? This one. So if we look at the orbits, I can't select it right now because that would mess up our burn, but if we go across at this orbit, we can see that without touching the atmosphere, we probably need about, well, we could maybe do with 3 satellites with a little bit touching of atmosphere, but basically I want to launch 4 satellites. Well, 1 is already in orbit, and we will be launching 3 more of the relays to this 450 kilometer orbit, and we will see how it goes from there. Should be okay, should have decent coverage. It also means that basically each satellite is just responsible for 1 quadrant of Kerbin, and so the longest distance is 450. Let's see, 450. Geez, trigonometry in my head. Probably about 900 kilometers. Definitely less than 1500, which is the important figure if we are using the what's it called? The regular 1500 kilometer antenna. Where are you? Here. Can I select you? No. Won't let me select the antenna. Okay. Oh, doesn't matter. We can probably check it out here somewhere. Control. Antennas. No retractable antennas, therefore it does not show. Well then. But there it definitely is, the antenna. Okay, so let's take care of this maneuver node again. Let's fix anything that needs to be fixed after our transfer burn. Yeah, we're pretty good already. We just need to come in a little bit. Like this. And bring up this a tiny bit. They meet up. Well, it's pretty much impossible. Periapsis is still at 30,000 and we need to go down to about 29, let's say. Well, that's all pretty icky. like this, and not like this, the other way, like this. That would be the perfect burn if we would manage to execute that. I don't think so, but let's keep it set like that. And that's in 1 day 4 hours. So this one, that is no longer station scientist actually. We need to fix that. Just lender resupply because we replace the scientists already with the ones who came from the MunTourist training mission. So we will remove this part from the name of the vessel. No longer correct. Excellent. With that done, let's go back to the Space Center. So 50 minutes to roll out, that's pretty much okay. Let's quickly check the contracts, whether there's anything interesting. This one still says, well, today it says medical emergency. Unmanned lunar flyby, no, not happening. These I don't want. Let's have a look at the tourists. What do we have? Flyby of Minmus with 1 tourist. Not going to happen. You are a little late. An hour too late, sorry. Any particular rescues that we would want to perform on the surface of the moon? Probably not. Okay. Anything here? No. Let's see, 6,000 units of liquid fuel on outpost on the moon? No. I mean, technically we could perform this mission. Osfred Kerman, let's have a look. Who is that and why would we want to recover here? So the easier way is to check here. Rosfred. Let's have a look at you. You are this one of the scientists on board the moon station, and you should be a 3-star Kerbal. Moon station, close this. Yes, Rosfred is one of our scientists there. Do I have a scientist which would like to go to Minmo station? Moon station, that is. Let's have a look. So, Didus needs to land on Minmus, not a candidate. Newvik needs to go to solar orbit, not a candidate. Helfred needs to land on Minmus, not a candidate. Catray would be a candidate. He's well qualified. Donany actually would be a candidate. Yeah, Donany could go there. Okay, so let's assume we bring Donany. And then I have Rosfred, Arbri and Stakot who also need to go to Moon. Let's check whether they are here. But Stakot is here, pilot, excellent. Rosfred, Arbri is also here, another pilot, okay. And who was the last one? Stakot. Wait, Stakot we have, Arbri we have. Where is Donany? Donany is here. That's the scientist we want to send. But are we... Stakot, okay. Arbri. Where's Rosfred? Rosfred, are you maybe on a mission? Yes, Rosfred is still on a mission, that's why. And Rosfred has already achieved moon orbit. I can strike him from my list. So we actually have a perfect mission here. Let's Accept this. Bases and stations, medical emergency. Well, Ausfred. Yes, of course. And use our standby vehicle, because that's exactly what it's there for. Clear all. So, who did I want to send? Arbry is on the list. And Donany and Stakot. Stakot. Donany. Let's launch to the moon. I mean, the whole reason I have the contract smart is to have these interesting contracts, so we are able, we should at least accept them. Let's go back to MunTourist here, standard vehicle, we already know this. Engage and go. No need to waste any time here, and we can set the moon as the target and hopefully, yes, sound recovered. I still don't know what the reason is, why the sound goes to one side or the other when we are in the map view. And remember last time we had the problem that it then did not recover. So yeah, let's see. Next time acceleration should be fine for this launch. Ascent path, let's keep... I can't just keep the ascent path open, that's unfortunate. Let's pay a little attention to the burn time, that's the really only thing that we need to watch out for, so that we can go back to 1x time acceleration when the boosters burn out. That's the only concern here. Slightly above, and now we will be slightly below the trajectory, but that's all okay, well within margins. There's the moon, not in sight, so no direct launch today. And I forgot to set back the time acceleration to 1x, doesn't matter. We should be fine here. Yeah, it's okay. Bearings up. Let's go back. Let's see, 139 meters, that should be okay. Yeah, that will be okay. We'll need 240 or so, easily 100 more to reach orbit. As always, first stage recovered. While we are here, we can already... Well, maybe this time we will not roll out a rescue mission, but instead use the second pad to also launch one of our satellites. I will definitely roll out the new one of these soon enough, just so we have one on standby again. So let's see, both stack decouplers exploded, yeah, that's okay, perfectly acceptable. And that's good enough orbit. Take the home and transfer. There's the moon, focus view. You can easily remove 2 meters here, 3 meters, 4 meters, 5 meters, and then bring this in a little. Right about there. That is target. Actually, perfect approach. Can we get this a little closer? No, not this way. Need to add a little bit here. That's too much. Like this should be okay. Yeah, click more. Yes, okay. We are intersecting the orbit, and let's go. 5 minutes, execute auto warp, remove this as soon as possible. I need something to drink while this burn is progressing. Okay. Second stage, 113 meters today. And there we are. Let's go prograde and just add a tiny nudge there. Bring this below the orbit. Yeah, like this. And now we can actually already plan for our capture here. So add a maneuver there just as a so that the next node will be in the sphere of influence. Add periapsis, create this one, remove this one. Now we have the capture burn at exactly periapsis, and let's work on our encounter. Add something here. Bring these two together. Oh, it's already close. Let's see. Oh, what have I done? Why doesn't the encounter show up anymore? Oh, I unselected the station. That's why. Okay. Let's see. Which way? This way? Yes. And we will actually not get any closer. We need to then perform some correction maneuver. That's okay. We will do this capture burn and then somewhere around here do the final adjustment, and that's good. So this will be capture, and this is not MunTourist, but Moon Station Medical capture. Close and rename this one also. Rename vessel Moon Station Medical. Accept. So within just over a day we will have Roosevelt on board and then be back shortly after. So that's pretty much the fastest we can go, unless we do high-speed transfers, but well, we would have the fuel for them, but that's too late now. Go back to the Space Center and delete this reminder. Okay, this is still rolling out, and actually let's do this. Promised that for this episode, so let's perform this launch. Do I have Any of these ready? No, not yet, and I want to build another one, but after this one is finished. So maybe... Oh, launch this. Oh, yes, I wanted to show the pilot for this, and the pilot will be Lisbro. As I said, Lisbro had some very daring repair tasks during the last re-entry. She has very decent courage. She isn't stupid at all, so she will not... She only does what she thinks is safe. And probably is safe enough. I don't think she is a badass, but yeah, I don't think so. Thus, it won't tell me here, and where do I have a comparable badass? Well, Jab is a comparable badass. He has higher G tolerance, so no, Lisbro is not a badass. That's okay for this mission. Anyway, Lisbro, she also has quite a bit of experience already. Lisbro 3 missions plus the one where she was rescued from, and I gave her this repair in danger ribbon. I awarded this to her, and that's her current status. So, as they said, let's launch her and start doing the cleanup. Not Julia. We will launch another time. Today it's Lisbro. I think she's perfectly suited. I mean, she has all of the traits that we need. So this one will launch to a lower orbit because we need to intercept some debris. Most of them are somewhere around the 80-kilometer mark. So we will just, let's see, where are we? Launch. Okay, excellent. We can just select one of them, let's say this one, maybe this one. Yeah, let's start with this one. It's still just in time. Engage, launch. Oh dear. Haha. Staging mishap. Why are we still held? Well then, severe staging mishap there. We will let this burn out and then I guess recover it. Oh, we could even now recover it. We are still locked to the launch pad. Let's do that. These boosters would just burn out and then the vessel would be safe. So yeah. Interesting. Check your staging. There's some other debris, we can recover this, and we will have to build a new one. So we can roll this out to Charlie and get a new one. Roll this pro next time, not today. That's the correct one. Excellent. Just build one. Thank you. Oh, wait. We will build one with fixed staging, right? So this means another 2 days of waiting, which means we will not be able to do it in this episode, but solid rocket boosters, separation of the SRBs and the parachutes, that's the next stage. All I want is these down here. This is down the next stage, separation, engine, and that's what? That should hopefully be those fairings. Yes, they will be gone by that time. The upper fairings and the usual upper stage sequencing, yes. Save those edits. Actually 4 hours 2 minutes, because we can apparently reuse some parts this time. And I think I forgot to let me check. Did I re-enable this setting here with the automatic part reuse? I may have forgotten that. I disabled it via last episode or the one before, because I wanted to get rid of the lag, but let's see, this one. Auto apply is enabled again. Okay, good. Well then, leave. So 4 hours. Well, let's bring it up to 4 hours then. That's not long. Rescue rollout, and we have a re-entry in 2 hours, so that will happen first, and I'm afraid that means Lispro will only launch in the next episode, but yeah, mistakes happen. Reconditioning 20 minutes, and then we will take care of this re-entry, I believe. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do the re-entry, then it's probably time to end the episode, and I'll launch Lispro at the beginning of the next one. Okay, we don't need that right now, and you will hear what? This stage. Why am I still carrying around this stage? I probably wanted to deorbit it. Okay, so probate. And if we, let's see. Add a maneuver here with 2 meters something, then it will just bring down the, will not bring down the periapsis a lot. If we go radial in, that's also not. Well, in any case, the stage is on a sub 30 kilometer orbit, so do we have any screwdrivers? Oh, no. No, unfortunately not, otherwise we could have recovered the engine. But yeah, I want to get rid of this and then perform a proper re-entry burn. So let's separate this. It should now be on a something orbit. 29.5 kilometers, yes, that will safely deorbit. If not automatically, then I will do it manually. So, and we will unset target, yes. And that's the 100, let's hide these for a second. Now that's the 100 kilometer mark, I believe, the Kerbin tank, yes. So at about 90 kilometers, I want to perform a maneuver to both change apoapsis and periapsis. This to, let's try 500. We have a lot of fuel here. Great note. That's 700. So we can go lower. Great note. 900 meters a second. To bring us to a very serene deorbiting. And that burn will take just a couple seconds, so let's see, that's 1547, that's 17. We can actually move this lower a little bit. From the burn about here. And go even lower here. 1004 meters, that's about perfect. So let's perform this re-entry burn. And we will have a very sedate, almost like just from Kerbal in orbit re-entry. Execute this node. And since we have only engineers and, oh, we have a pilot. But that's a rescued pilot who has absolutely zero experience in flying, so if we can just have them be on a very easy re-entry, that won't hurt. And that's the same maneuver that I am scheduling for all the solar orbit training missions, right? You remember the basically the maneuver we figured out that we need to do for the solar orbit training vessels to re-enter safely. That's our stage. Let's burn a little bit of RCS as well. Well, I will need to adjust the direction for that. Probably more like this. Periapsis is still dropping. Okay, so let's say 50-ish. That's okay. Slightly lowering the periapsis. A little bit of right about there, excellent. Get rid of all of this RCS fuel, we won't need it anymore. And maybe this one as well. I don't think it will count as a zero fuel landing because the supplies will probably count as fuel. So yeah. And we maybe accelerate this a little bit. I want to be on track again by the time we reach 55 kilometers. So if I have any fuel left by then, I will get not 57, 56-ish. Okay, let's go retrograde. Who cares? And turn this off. Just hold this, please. Thank you. Right about there, please. Let's see, what's the maximum G-forces so far? 3.5, so probably during launch. Or maybe out during this re-entry burn, actually. Let's try this. Could even use... And we messed up. Okay. Interesting that it locks immediately. I wanted to select surface and then retrograde. I probably should have selected orbital retrograde first and then... Anyway. Why doesn't it hold retrograde properly? Huh. Interesting. A lot of wobbling. Yeah, that's why I don't like to use MacJab during these re-entries. I don't know what's wrong with MacJab there. It's just not what I want. See, SAS is able to perfectly hold this just easily. Let's deploy the parachutes. That's the vessel itself without any inputs, so probably that's what MacJab is seeing actually, if it wobbles like that. Obviously that's because of the pretty blunt shape of the engine there. And normally that's not a problem, and it's a capsule and you have all of the mass down there, but our mass is also relatively high up. Yeah, and so aerodynamics and the engine shape together probably cause this behavior. Already nice, slow, already subsonic, so no issue for the parachutes at all. Where are we going to land? Probably just in the water still. Just on the shore. And that may have been the highest, yeah, 5.1 Gs actually. Even though it's wheel shoots, so the deployment there is pretty quick. Huh. And yeah, landing just on the shore. Just on the shore, so that's also okay. That's probably a little steep, but we will see. Altitude 50, 30, 20 meters, and yeah, that's steep. Let's see how this works. Probably falls over. It did. Did not crash the solar panel. It did crash the solar panel. Okay, who cares? Let's recover. And we are way over time already, so with that recovery I would like to thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Unfortunately we didn't get to launch Lispro, but definitely next time. So until then, have a nice day. Bye bye.